Physical fitness is also a priority. It prepares cadets for the dangers of frontline policing.
On your stomach.
We're here to train them, to push them beyond their limits, to see exactly what their bodies can do so that they can make the right decisions and risk assessments when they leave depot, and to allow them to be the best they can.
But training is much more than physical fitness. It teaches safety and self-defense.
Basically here what I'm teaching is police defensive tactics to the cadets. It's an 82-hour program. That does not only include boxing, striking, or ground fighting. It also includes being able to risk assess, being ensured having high awareness at all times, ensuring that they understand the intervention model and what we do. Every day just showing up in your uniform can sometimes change a situation, because a lot of times bad things happen to good people.
The cops just fucking shot this guy. Holy fuck. He's fucking dead. There's blood everywhere. This is fucked up. Like, come on. You fucking shot the guy. What in the fuck is going on?
What is this for?
What the hell is that?
Ow, man!
What the hell was that for? That is going on TV right there.
Sir, can you wait over there, please?
I'm not allowed to wait here.
Yo, I need stitches.
Yep, you can watch this. That's fine, but don't interfere while I'm trying to do my job.
I went to my shoes now. Yo, I'm bleeding.
Take a seat. Have a seat for us.
Why did you punch me?
Because you was resisting.
I did not resist.
I was trying to put handcuffs on you.
No,
and you pulled your arm away.
I can't. I don't.
I told you
I don't
not
bend
to
that
resist.
way. I don't bend that way. Yo, man. Why are you punching in the face?
You're resisting.
Sir, I did not resist. I did not. I can't move.
Okay.
I can't move all the way that way.
We had your hands there,
Come
and you were
on.
pulling away. And sensing out. Okay.
Yeah, because I can't.
Just relax right now.
Hey, it went right through my chin, man.
What's that?
It went right through my chin.
So you really had ID?
I was just trying to get home as quickly as possible.
You really had ID.
And you're not allowed to just go through my pockets and stuff. You're not allowed to do that. This is gonna be fun, right?
I can't
Have
see
you
this
never
being
seen
legal.
anything like
No, they can't punch someone in the head for like not.
Do you mind standing
No,
back there for us?
I'm allowed to stand here.
You guys have
Yes.
badge numbers?
Yes.
What are they? 2820? 2820 in your name?
28. That's all you
2820.
need.
And what about this guy? Do you know this?
Provide his
Can I get some ice?
we don't carry ice in our cars.
But you punch you from the face.
We don't carry ice. Just these things.
Don't, do you not touch me anymore?
Don't do that.
Do you not touch me?
Don't do that.
Yeah, but look what already happened. Don't touch me.
Relax. Stay still.
I was just going home.
It's kind of hard for him to relax when he just gets punched in the head for like.
Thank you for your
I've
comments,
never
sir.
been
We
punched
really
in-
appreciate it.
I've
If you don't
never
mind,
been
just stay
punched in
where
the
you are.
face
Thank you.
before. Thanks a lot, man.
From Global British Columbia, News Hour Final with Aaron McCarthy.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. We begin tonight with an alleged case of police brutality in Kelowna that has the RCMP investigating a fellow officer. Disturbing cell phone video shows a Mountie kicking a man in the face during an arrest on a Kelowna street this morning. As CHBC's Blaine Gaffney reports, RCMP brass are quickly reacting to deal with the officer's actions.
It appears to be a shocking display of excessive force by a Kelowna Mountie. A man being arrested at gunpoint, apparently doing what he's being told, getting down on the ground on his hands and knees when an RCMP officer steps forward and kicks him in the head. Moments later, the handcuffed man is led away, leaving a pool of blood on the pavement.
I talked to two witnesses here who saw what happened, and they are appalled at what the police officer did. They didn't want to appear on camera, but they say the kick to the head was completely unnecessary, that the suspect didn't appear to be threatening or armed, that he was obeying the police officer's demands to get down. Indeed, he was on his hands and knees when he was kicked in the face.
Constable Jeff Mantler delivered the blow.
They're all saying that you got a little heavy-handed with that guy.
Okay, well, we're still investigating. We're still seizing exhibits. We'll have to talk to you guys after about that kind of stuff, all right?
But it was the head of the Kelowna detachment doing the talking.
In my opinion, I feel there's sufficient evidence to order a full investigation.
The superintendent has looked at the phone video images of the violent arrest.
I have reviewed that video and I have ordered a statutory investigation of excessive force as well as a code of conduct investigation in relation to the manner in which the officer executed his duties. I can also tell you that at this time, I have placed that member on administrative duties only.
The arrest video is being sent to the RCMP's commanding officer for British Columbia, who's expected to decide early next week whether Constable Mantler will be suspended with or without pay, while he's being investigated for a possible criminal charge of assault causing bodily harm.
I have asked for an outside investigator to conduct the statutory investigation as well as the code of conduct. A member from internal investigations from the Southeast District, I believe, will be appointed on Monday.
The arrested man had to be taken to hospital for treatment for facial injuries.
Oh, here, yeah. Yeah, right there.
The arrest followed an incident minutes earlier at an East Kelowna golf course, with police responding to reports of shots fired by a man who drove a pickup truck onto the course, fired 2 blasts from a shotgun, then drove away. Police caught up to their suspect shortly afterwards, stopping the pickup truck on a busy street, ordering the man out of the truck at gunpoint, with a 12-gauge shotgun and ammunition later being found inside his vehicle. Police say the man is an employee at the golf course, but is currently on disability leave after suffering a brain injury in a motorcycle crash last summer. One of his duties when he is working is to frighten geese away with gunshots.
There was a permit in place for him to scare away the geese.
Is that what he was doing at the time?
That's what we're led to believe now.
Now, as you can imagine, the video is causing outrage among those whose job it is to monitor police conduct, especially since it appears the suspect seems to be doing everything right.
This is the challenge, is when someone appears to be obeying the instructions of a police officer, you expect as a member of the public, if you're following the directions of an officer, that you're not going to be assaulted. But from viewing this video, it appears as though the man is following the directions of the officer and still subject to force. So I expect that a full investigation will be done of this incident.
gotta put the D in the back. That's what hurts them. These are big boys, so they gotta play hard.
Answer that! Did you answer that? I'm playing my face. Did you answer my you fucking dad! Fucking dad! The punk! You're a punk! Fucking punk, you're done! You're fucking
That's a funny yeah. People get drunk, they do all kinds of stupid things. Yep. Yeah, you just get one to go crazy like that. You're not supposed to get rough with people, you know, you get rough with them, you know, they do it worse, you know?
From the Global Maritime Studios.
RCMP won't confirm that they raided Simpson's property last week.
Hello, my name is Mike Simpson, Rick Simpson's oldest son. On November 25th, 2009, approximately 10:30, I showed up to check on my father's property to find 3 unmarked police vehicles at the end of my father's driveway, an RCMP 4-wheel drive in the middle of my father's driveway. I pulled in the end of the driveway and walked towards the house. I got about halfway towards the house when I was surrounded by 9 police officers with their hands on their guns. I then asked them what the hell they were doing there. They said they were there to serve a warrant for cultivation of cannabis. I then told them they were standing on a 1,500-acre land grant, that my father's property is a country within a country, and that they had no right to be on that property. They then said that a judge had signed the warrant and they could do as they pleased. I told them I was the caretaker of the property and I wanted to see the warrant. They would not show it to me. I then asked each and every one of them for their business cards. They would not give me their business cards, which by their law they are required to do so. They then ran me off my family's land, and I was forced to watch them ransack my father's house from the end of his driveway. I watched them carry things out of his house that they had left from other raids on his property. After they were done ransacking my family's property, as they backed a trailer load of plastic junk and a fluorescent light shade out of the driveway, Officer Timmy Hunter came over to me, and I told him, in the past they had taken 2,800 marijuana plants off my father's property. He ended up with a $2,000 fine. I then asked Timmy Hunter what they thought they were going to accomplish with a trailer load of junk plastic that they had left the last time they had raided. He just stood there with a dumb look on his face, then asked me how I liked my Volkswagen car. As soon as they had left the property, I went into my dad's house to see how much damage was done. I was sickened by the damage. Before my father left for his trip, I installed a video surveillance system, which was clearly posted on every door and every window of the house. The police stole 3 cameras that were in plain sight for everyone to see. They did not have a warrant for surveillance gear that was legally posted, but they stole it anyway, in an attempt to cover their tracks, in my opinion. They tore the house apart looking for the recorder, but failed, because it wasn't in the house. The things they took didn't make any sense to me. They took a bag of noodles that my father had brought back from his last trip to Europe. They were hemp noodles, with a hemp leaf on the package. So right now, those noodles are in Alberta, being tested for THC, it's only going to cost the taxpayers $20,000 for the RCMP to find out they took a bag of noodles. The fact that they worked so hard to try to find anything to charge my dad with tells me the raid was nothing but a witch hunt, and that they would stop at no lengths to try and find something to charge my father with. It's been 2 weeks since the raid on my father's property, and still not one of the 5 stations involved will own up to what they did. So I had no choice but to upload some footage to prove that they were there. Let's see them try and say they weren't there now. People are told we live in a free country. When it's a crime to cure cancer, just what kind of country are we living in?
Marijuana fights cancer. And what Rick Simpson has done that is so important is that he's shown us that to get the full medicinal impact of this plant, you cannot smoke it. You must eat a lot of cannabinoids. And the easiest way to do that is to make oil and eat the oil. If you are seriously ill, you need to eat about 1 gram a day for 60 days. But when you're done, 70% of the cancer patients are cancer-free. Rick started giving away oil for free, growing it in his backyard. Hundreds of patients he treated for free. So the Canadian government arrested Rick Simpson, convicted him of being a drug dealer, and while he's at the Cannabis Cup now, just now, they have raided his property for the 3rd time and are prepared to arrest Rick again when he returns to Canada. It is unconscionable to treat a saint in this manner. Rick Simpson is the Freedom Fighter of the Year. Rick.